Was he not eating enough? Was he perhaps starving? Or is he reverse dieting incorrectly? Is he eating too many calories now? It's one or the other. Coach Greg, and Brandon Harding is up 33 pounds in 2 weeks. 33 pounds in 2 weeks. So I'm going to go over his video and I'm going to explain what is he doing wrong? What is he doing right? What does this all mean? How dangerous is this? And why is he getting fat already? What is going on?
I've gained a little bit of weight, which is kind of crazy because this is actually the first time in my entire life after a prep that I've actually been able to control the rebound.
And that controlled rebound, that controlled eating has resulted in gaining 33 pounds in 2 weeks. Imagine what would happen if he didn't have control. Would he be up 50 pounds? And how dangerous can this be? Well, I'm going to explain in details the pros and cons of doing what Brandon is doing.
Yes, I've been on dates with my girlfriend. I've enjoyed some food, but more or less, majority of the time, I've been sticking to the plan and I've been following my increased calorie diet from Callum.
So he's on a 3,700 calorie diet, which is up from the 2,000 to 2,600 calories that he was following before. And as you know, there's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. So let's lowball it and assume that his maintenance is 2,700 calories. He was eating between 2,000 and 2,600 calories a day to lose weight. So let's give him 2,700 calories as his maintenance calories. He's now eating 3,700, which puts him at a 1,000 calorie surplus daily. That's bulking. Clearly it's bulking. And 1,000 calorie daily surplus would result in about 4 pounds of added body fat in 2 weeks. So it doesn't take a genius to say 33 minus 4, that leaves 29 pounds of fat and or water that he's gained in 2 weeks. It's not good. It's too much water retention. He's talking about edema, he's swollen, his face is swollen, skin's swollen, puffy. It is not good. When you gain that much water, that much fluid retention, you are going to be increasing your blood pressure. Not good for the heart. Anyone that gains 33 pounds in 2 weeks that quickly, that's yo-yo dieting. So one of two things had to occur in order for him to be gaining 33 pounds in 2 weeks. He was either way too depleted, too flat, underfed, undercarbed, essentially the same thing that one would experience if one had an eating disorder. But it wasn't an eating disorder, it was part of being a bodybuilder, but the body doesn't know the difference. It doesn't know the difference between you having an eating disorder or you wanting to compete as a bodybuilder, getting down to 5% body fat, underfeeding yourself, and doing too much cardio to maintain that energy level. So the other spectrum is he's now gained 33 pounds. So he either dieted too hard before or he's eating too much now. I'm going to say it's a little bit of both. If I was coaching a client and they told me they gained 33 pounds in 2 weeks, I would reduce their calories. He's saying he's following the diet perfectly. He's never had this much control after a show. Well, if he's never had this much control after a show, why is he up 33 pounds? Is that normal? Is it healthy? No, it's not normal and it's not healthy. I have never in my life even gained half of that much weight in 2 weeks.
I'm fully raring to go. I've been excited to work out all day, and we're also going to a gym called Phoenix, which has incredible back equipment. I'm ready. I'm carved up and I'm ready to train.
So now that Brandon is able to eat more calories, he's excited to go train. He can't wait. He's carved up. He's feeling good. This allows him to now build muscle. When he was dieting and in that great of a calorie deficit, almost impossible to gain muscle even with PDs. But now that it's the off season and he's eating more calories than before, he can now again start to put on muscle. But 33 pounds in 2 weeks, it's too much. So what would I do if I were him? I would reduce those calories by about 500. There's no reason for him to be gaining this much weight this quickly. It reminds me of a debate I had with Dr. Mike Israetel. We talked about this exact subject. And one of the things we brought up was it's hard on the head mentally to see yourself gain that much weight. He's seeing the bloated face, the water, the fluid retention, and he's gaining it really quick. What if he keeps this pace up? What if he's up 50 pounds in a month from now? What if he's up 100 pounds in 3 months from now? It's not healthy and he doesn't need to be in this great of a calorie surplus to put on muscle. I'm going to argue that he's probably eating closer to a 2,000 calorie surplus a day. He's saying it's 3,700. I'm not too sure about that. I really don't see it. I saw his photos posing and flexing, and given the fact that he was approximately 5% body fat before, I'm going to say he's probably closer to 9% body fat now. So if he's up 4% body fat, that's 8 pounds of fat. To do so, he'd need to be in a 2,000 calorie surplus a day. Does anyone think you need a 2,000 calorie surplus to bulk? Or even 1,000? I'm quite convinced that even a 500 calorie surplus above his maintenance would be more than enough for Brandon to put on muscle. So why are we gaining 33 pounds in 2 weeks when we have a structured regimen for the off season?
The bag is in the cubby hole. We've got a 1.5 litre bottle of water, still tracking the water, still making sure the water intake is about 4 to 5 litres every single day.
And he's still tracking his water intake. He's drinking 4 to 5 liters of water a day, which is good. But being this regimented and this strict, I feel like something needs to change as part of his routine. And since we know that Brandon is not natural, I could speculate that perhaps some of this extra water retention is because of some of the PEDs he may or may not be taking at this point. I am not aware of what he's taking in the offseason. I don't know his exact cycle, but I do know that most people when prepping for a competition are going to crash their estrogen levels to almost nothing and use diuretics. So following a show when your estrogen climbs back to normal or perhaps beyond that, and you're no longer taking the diuretics, your body can overcompensate and store even more water than it should. That's when it can become not healthy. Too much water retention or edema can also result in higher blood pressure, which can further cause problems for the heart. My advice, lower the carbs. For each gram of carb you take, you're going to need 4 grams of water to store this as muscle glycogen. By lowering the carbs, he won't have as much water retention, and that will cause his blood pressure to go down. He also should go see a doctor and check out, is his blood pressure under control? Maybe it's normal, we don't know. Maybe it's not normal, maybe it's sky high through the roof, we don't know. He should also get blood work to see how is his body responding now that he's off the PDs or switched PDs. What exactly is happening? Is his estrogen through the roof? Is he on a high dose of testosterone now, which is causing more estrogen conversion, which is leading to more water retention? We just don't know. We don't know what he's taking. Perhaps he can make a video saying, this is what's going on, this is what I'm taking, and this is what we're going to do about it. I'd love to see that video. And you see him in the gym training, he certainly doesn't look like he's very fat. He's up 33 pounds, still has vascularity in the arms, he's in a tank top, but he's up 33 pounds. So although you don't see a lot of fat gain, he certainly has some fat and water retention going on.
Right, so morning weight, 228 pounds. I should not have gone out last night.
And so he weighs himself a night after drinking alcohol and then eating too many calories, and he's now 228 pounds. Now, for the most part, when you go out and drink alcohol, you're usually lighter the next day. He's literally 5 pounds heavier today than he was yesterday. It's not good. It's not healthy to fluctuate that much in body weight. And another thing, why are we doing once weekly weigh-ins with check-ins with clients? It's proof right here how useless that really is. Imagine you're tracking your client's progress and once a week they send your weight and they went out and drank the night before and they're up or down 5 pounds. What are you going to then say? Oh, we need to up your calories, lower your calories because you're up or down 5 pounds? That's why what I do is ask for the median weight. We weigh ourselves multiple times in the morning, cross out the high numbers and the lows to get rid of the outliers, and we take the middle number, the one that remains. That is more accurate. So if Brandon had done that and was, for the most part, 223 pounds, he could then send to the coach and say, hey, my median's 223, rather than saying I weighed myself Saturday morning and I'm 228. It's just more accurate to take the median rather than once a week weigh-in.
A more accurate weight was actually yesterday, because yesterday I weighed in at 223 pounds. I've literally gained 5 pounds in a single day.
So he's saying yesterday I was 223, which is more accurately telling you my weight. But listen, that's first thing in the morning. 223 first thing in the morning. What do you think he weighs later in the day? probably over 230. By the time you're eating, drinking the water, your weight is going to go up. So although he weighs 228 this morning, he's probably going to consistently weigh in the upper 220s or early 230s throughout the day.
This is how fragile my body currently is, based on the fact that I was on stage literally 2 weeks ago at 195 pounds.
So if anything, can you not learn from this? This was a guy who was 195 pounds shredded on stage. He's 228 pounds. Look at him posing at 223. Does it look like he has to lose 28 pounds to get back to stage shape? Does he look 28 pounds away from stage weight? So when people say, oh, I weigh 220, I'm probably going to compete at 200 pounds on stage. Brandon's 223 in the morning, and he competed at 195. And at 223, still looks pretty lean, really. Maybe 9% body fat, still pretty lean. So it just goes to show just how much weight you can lose when dieting for a show. And think, it took 20 weeks for him to get down to contest shape. 2 weeks later, he's up to 228 pounds. That means about 2-3 months out. It would take Brandon 2 or 3 months to get back to contest shape after 2 weeks. See, y'all saying main gain doesn't make sense. No, you should bulk, then do a mini cut. Well, Brandon's bulked for 2 weeks, and his mini cut would be 8 weeks to get back to where he was. He's only eating 3,700 calories a day. He said in his past his maintenance was 3,700 calories. Yet on 3,700 calories now, he's gaining 1, 2, 3 pounds a week. So do you think maybe he overdid it on the diet? Was he not eating enough? Was he perhaps starving? Or is he reverse dieting incorrectly? Is he eating too many calories now? It's one or the other. It has to be one or the other. Of course, it could be a little bit of both, but it's one or the other. He's either undereating then or overeating now, proven by the fact he's up 33 pounds in 2 weeks. So I'm not doing this to shit on him. I'm just doing this for educational purposes so that if other people diet for a show, they'll know the dangers. They'll know what not to do, what to do. And if you gain 33 pounds in 2 weeks after a show, it's not good. Remember I did a video on Anthony Mantello about 2 years ago? He gained 25 pounds in a few days. And not even Anthony Mantello gained 33 pounds in 2 weeks after his show. And he was eating anything and everything in sight. No control, no structured plan, nothing. And even he didn't gain 33 pounds. And so Brandon should not be gaining 33 pounds in 2 weeks following a show. And if you in your own contest prep are gaining that much, you need to eat less. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IB Pro. Watch one of the boobs. Don't forget to buy the friggin' cookbook. Help you to not gain 33 pounds in 2 weeks after a show. You can hire me for coaching. Me and my team do coaching plans. And until next time, I'm out.